This episode of the KCGN podcast will not contain any spoilers for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I don't know why that's a warning, but it's more of an alert. Enjoy!
Alright. Are we going to get started?
Yeah, welcome to episode... what episode number is this?
It's like 19 or 20.
Yeah, episode something. More than 7. We're better than Star Wars. Of the KCGN podcast. See, it takes
the podcast awakens.
Yes. Well,
or something.
No, I don't know.
That's terrible.
I'm feeling kind of tired right now, so.
But you need to wake up.
It's more of like the podcast.
Finish what you started.
The podcast falls asleep, but
hope not.
We just recently saw Star Wars Episode 7. We're not going to talk about spoilers, like our little disclaimer.
We're going to talk about our
opinion. Our opinions on the movie. So. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff like Star Wars games and
this stuff is taking over the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have also I did a game jam, which nobody cares about.
Nobody cares about your Ludem Dare.
Exciting stuff to talk about though. And in addition to Star Wars, going to talk about some video games as well. So Star Wars Episode 7. I thought it was a very good movie. Like I said, we're not going to talk about spoilers. We have to be careful about what we're saying, but it feels very...
If we say anything, I will bleep it out.
Yeah. It feels very much different from the other Star Wars movies, mainly on account of George Lucas not being involved.
Yeah, it felt very different.
Yeah.
Okay,
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like there was a lot of action. Like a lot of the memorable scenes are more conveyed in actions as opposed to dialogue this time around. Whereas in a lot of the previous Star Wars movies, you had all those memorable lines like "Luke, I am your father."
No, you screwed it up.
Oh my God!
Why does everyone screw that up? No, it's no. I am your father.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, it's a spoiler either way. We got to bleep that out.
Yeah.
Anyways, like stuff like that. These memorable lines of dialogue. There wasn't that much of that. I feel in this movie. There was a lot of like there were a lot of high, like fast-paced action scenes, and everyone's like talking really fast, or they're exasperated or whatever, and there's not a lot of time to
breathing.
Oh yeah, the heavy breathing,
especially Fenn,
dude. Yeah, he's like breathing heavily in every single shot.
Well, he's breathing heavily in the teaser trailers.
That's
every what
shot.
He's doing the whole time.
That's his quirk. That's his character quirk. But no, I feel like a lot of the memorable stuff for this movie was more in the actions of that we see the characters do, which I feel made for some very entertaining scenes as a result.
What I thought, I didn't really know what to make of the movie, because I couldn't get over the completely new cinematography. I felt it was like too fast paced. It felt like a modern film. In modern films, to me, especially the action ones, or all the action ones, it's too fast paced, and there's too quick cuts, too many of them. Like it just there's never a time to breathe.
Well, as far as cinematography goes, I think you said one of the things you were a little uncomfortable with was all the long shots in the movie, like all these instances with the camera.
Like the camera's moving a lot, and
like the camera moves through an environment.
There was also more shaky cam in there too.
There was a little bit of shaky cam. There was not a ton of it.
But the camera seemed like it was always moving.
I can only remember one or two scenes where there was shaky cam, but yeah, the camera was moving pretty frequently. There were a lot of still shots though.
But I think it was missing those wide panoramic still shots. Enough.
There
of
were
them.
a couple of them.
There wasn't enough compared to.
Oh yeah,
all the rest of the 6 of them. They all had those wide shots. You really get a sense of the environment.
Now,
and that's part of what makes Star Wars to me is that cinematography. It's more of a classic style. The prequels retained it. It was more. The prequels had a little more camera movement.
I feel
but it wasn't it wasn't like this film.
Well, I feel like J.J. Abrams' cinematography style per se is very much a very active camera that's going through the environment, and I feel like to me that makes me feel more immersed in the movie's settings, like the sets of the movie. It makes it feel less like a set, and it makes it feel a lot more like an actual environment because it feels like there's just a camera moving through this fictional scene. And like in a movie like Super 8, it's not really something you notice because the setting in Super 8 is just 1970s hometown America. But like for Star Wars, it just makes it feel so much more immersive to me. Like when they're doing all those panoramic shots, or not panoramic shots, but like those long shots just walking through the corridors of their base or Star Destroyer or whatever, and it just makes it feel like a much more real environment in my opinion.
To me, I couldn't. Half the time, it was hard to tell what was going on, and I felt like the shot, like close-up shots. There was a lot of those that, when I watch a movie, see, I'm not a fan of the J.J. Abrams style because I like
a lot of people are not
to know what's going on first off, and
it felt like there were a lot of details that were kind of left out.
There was a really a lot of more use of depth of field that I'm not huge on for a film as much because I like seeing. Well, I'd have to watch it again to really absorb it in because one viewing doesn't do anything justice. But not only the cinematography that I had an issue with, it was a very weak for Star Wars anyway, soundtrack. The music was just not there.
Oh yeah,
there was nothing notable, nothing at all.
Not really too.
All 6 films had some all the music.
Yeah,
was
there was
extremely
Duel of the Fates, President's prequels, and then you have the Imperial March,
Yoda's theme, Leia's Across the Stars from Episode 2, Battle of Heroes from Episode 3, and the Grievous theme, and then that's just the surface of it. The music that doesn't stand out as much, it was pleasant and fun to listen to, and you want to listen to it over and over, and it makes for perfect background music. And this one, it never stood out. And
I think you mentioned you thought that was because of the cinematography, but
I think it goes back to that because
I have to disagree though, because I feel like there was a battle scene about a little past the halfway point of the movie, and I feel like that scene had a lot of potential to have some really notable musical cues that just didn't. And I need to watch it again because the soundtrack, like I said, it wasn't like you were saying it's not very prevalent in this movie, and so I need to go back and listen to it again.
Well, if you have to go back and listen to it, then it wasn't notable to begin with.
Yeah.
And you can I've listened to some of it on Spotify, and there's only one song on there that was decent, that stood out more than the others. There wasn't. I don't know if it's John Williams completely losing his touch in his 80s now, or I think it might be a combination of that and J.J. Abrams.
Maybe.
Because I felt...
Well, you said he wasn't able to read the script. Now, I don't know.
No, I went back and watched the documentary. It was over a year ago with John Williams.
Yeah.
And he was talking about doing the next Star Wars film. And this is back when the hype, I don't think the trailer was released yet, but it was before anything had been done. And he said he liked to not read the script to any of his films. So I don't think that has anything to do with it. He likes to make the music as he goes along, so he is surprised. So he can feel that surprise like the viewer does, and then
Yeah.
he molds he makes the music to it goes along with it like that. I'm not exactly.
Recently I went to see the Kansas City Symphony play Star Trek 2009. It was a show where they were playing the soundtrack to the movie in synchronization to the movie playing on a screen. So it was very cool. But the before the movie started, they talked about, okay, yeah, so J.J. Abrams did the Star Trek movie. He's doing Star Wars now. And they said that his first choice for a composer was not actually John Williams. It was Michael Giacchino, who is the guy who does the music for all of his movies. And Giacchino's response was, no, if you're going to do a Star Wars movie, you got to have John Williams. And
Well,
I
yeah,
feel like
it's not Star.
I'm feeling now that maybe John Williams would have been Michael Giacchino may have been a better fit for the soundtrack. I feel like he could have come up with more original themes.
It wouldn't be Star Wars as much.
But that's the thing, though, because Michael Giacchino has a very, very strong John Williams feel to his music. Like, his music sounds like John Williams.
Yeah, but it's not John Williams.
It has a little bit more of a jazzier style to it, I guess. So, but I feel like we would have had more memorable themes.
I mean, I don't know if it would make any difference because, I mean, John Williams did the soundtrack.
Now, for reference, Michael Giacchino is the guy that Disney brings in to, like, compose all of the music for all their Star Wars stuff whenever they can't get the John Williams track, whenever the John Williams track doesn't work for the situation. Like, if they need a slight variance on the track, or if they need, like, a version of that song with different timing, they bring in Michael Giacchino to recompose it and have it performed with, like, a full orchestra and whatnot. So he's, like, their go-to, like, John Williams stand-in.
But you have to have John Williams. But it's like...
Now, Mike Giacchino and John Williams working together, that, I feel, would have been absolutely fantastic.
Well, possibly. But as it stands, it's the weakest of the 7 by far.
I don't... Oh, you mean soundtrack? Or?
Yeah, soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
Soundtrack.
Yeah. As far as the movie goes, episode 2 is still the worst.
Yeah, some people think 1 is the worst. Some people say 2 is the worst.
It's better than both of those movies. So,
yeah, I think it is. I think it's more along episode 6 and 3 territory to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
which I feel is a fair.
4 and 5 are on a whole nother tier, but it's tough for me to choose, really. Like, what's my favorite? Because it bounces between 4 and 5, and it's, as a kid, I had episode 1 higher, because, pod racing and Darth Maul and the music, and I just loved it for those reasons. I didn't really care. I was never really caring about character development. I didn't give a shit. And I still don't really care as much for that stuff because the magic of Star Wars is more than that.
Character development?
Character development. Star Wars has never been huge on that.
I feel like character development is still important for a movie, though. Especially
it is to an extent. It is
especially with episode 7, where we have to have this big focus on this new set of characters, that being Poe, Finn, and.
But I don't think it's ever been its strength.
Mm-hmm.
The dialogue either. The dialogue has never been the strength.
I feel like dialogue has been a big strength for that, because I feel like a lot of the memorable stuff from Star Wars, is in the dialogue. It's like,
but I mean, there's a lot of cheesy.
The shield generators quotes. Will be fully operational by the time your friends arrive.
Well, yeah, it's very memorable dialogue at times, but it's.
I feel like the most memorable parts are in the dialogue.
Yeah, obviously, yes, but I mean, I think Star Wars is just as a whole. It's
always been kind of cheesy, though.
Well, yeah. All of them have been.
With the exception of episode 3, like near the end, where they're like, yeah, it's got to be epic.
Well, yeah, at that point, it's like, this is it. I mean, this is the moment Vader...
That makes sense, yeah.
this is everything's going down in hell, and you got Yoda and you got the two masters of the Force dueling in the Senate, where democracy has just fallen, and they're dueling it out there, and then you got the mentor and the apprentice fighting in hell, basically, and
on Hell World.
What?
On nice and sunny Hell World.
Yeah, of Mustafa. I just love freaking Ian McDiarmid as the Emperor, because he did it in all the films except for the initial episode 5. Like, was actually like a combination of like a woman's face and like a chimp, and then someone else did the voice, but they changed it
in the remastering
or special.
We need to watch the specialized edition. And
then so yeah, Ian McDiarmid is just fantastic. So, but what were?
Well,
how
anyways,
did we get off? Like, what? But I'm trying to think how this branched out.
Well, I feel like, as far as episode 7, we were talking about how it's always kind of corny, and the dialogue you were saying isn't always that great. I feel like the dialogue has been
Mr. Jar Jar Binks.
That's the exception, but
who could be a Sith Lord? Did you watch that video?
I doubt that's gonna.
No, did you watch the video?
I did not watch the video, but
you have to watch the video.
Oh,
there is huge evidence.
Oh my god!
Like, if this is true, this changes everything.
It's gonna be who
Jar Jar will be, like, from the most hated to like one of the most brilliant characters ever made. If this is true.
It's gonna be Snorkel's. Oh, that's a spoiler.
Yeah, you didn't really Snorkels. Who is Snorkels?
That's not that character's name, but it sounds close enough.
Well, Snoke. I mean, you can look at it.
Snoke. Yeah, there you go. Well, we have to put that out because that might be spoilers, but
nobody knows who that is unless they see it. Well, you
see it. You're not gonna fucking know who it is, though.
Yeah. See, you have to look it up on the internet. Don't look it up if you haven't seen it. Well, I guess it doesn't matter, but
it does
because he's in the trailer.
Is he in it? I don't remember seeing him.
The teaser. He talks.
It's
been an awakening.
Oh, I guess. I don't know.
Have you felt it? Have you felt it, Jeff?
I don't feel that, no.
Are you really feeling it now?
Feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? No, but I liked episode 7. I feel like, with the one thing that I did not like much about it, though, was that it feels the whole movie is kind of just setting things up for the next 2 movies. The previous Star Wars movies didn't really feel that way. Like, I feel like I could watch episode 4, and that has like a full conclusion. I know what the ending there is. It doesn't necessarily need a sequel, but then there is a sequel. That's episode 5.
Well, I think the thing with that is they didn't know there was going to be for sure a sequel.
And then episode 5, obviously that has a sequel cliffhanger kind of.
I mean, episode 1 also had closure.
Yeah, episode 1 had closure. Like,
it rhymed. You see, it
you
rhymes.
Could watch episode because they originally were planning to make a full trilogy of movies, and you see episode 1. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I can see that. That's cool. So, yeah, he eventually becomes Darth Vader. Okay, sure. And then, you see episode 2. Okay, so, yeah, that there's closure there because, I think.
It ended with them getting married, and then the Palpatine got his clone army, and the epic, like, scene of all the clones and stuff, and then the Imperial March was playing. See, You didn't have anything like that in episode 7. There wasn't that moment of.
Now you've talked a lot. You've talked a lot about
even episode 6 had that kind of moment too.
Now, you've talked a lot about things you didn't like about the movie. What are some things you did like about the movie though?
I think BB-8 was good.
Mm-hmm. That was a practical prop too.
I thought.
Well done.
I thought the characters were fine. And the main characters, were fine.
I like the main.
But once again, like there was no like real. Didn't seem like there was one central main character.
I feel like that's not really that much of an issue though, because
I don't think it's an issue, but episode 1 didn't either. But the thing is, people complained about that, but they liked episode 7, so it's like I'm confused here. Do you need a main character? Is the question. I don't think you do need a single main character because look. I mean, Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings did have a main character. It was Frodo, but they had multiple. See, it's like an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Well, I mean, like if you look at episode 4, for example, you have your main characters are Luke, Obi-Wan.
But I mean, the thing is, Luke is
Solo,
Luke is the main character.
That's true.
There's no question. Episode 1, it could be Qui-Gon, it could be Anakin. I don't know.
I would argue the main character in episode 1 is Obi-Wan.
Or Obi-Wan. It's either one of the three. I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter.
For me, when I watched it originally, I felt like most of my attention was drawn to Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I could see that, but at the same time, it felt like Qui-Gon was like leading the charge there.
I felt like Qui-Gon was like his master, and I feel like he wasn't really developed as much as Obi-Wan was because they wanted to set up Obi-Wan for the next 2 movies.
Well, yeah.
But I feel like in like episode 2, it's definitely a dual main character thing.
No doubt.
It felt almost exactly like a buddy cop movie in the Star Wars universe. I liked that aspect of it.
Yeah, episode 2 felt more like a kind of a mystery to an extent because they're trying to figure out who the Sifo Dyas ordered this clone army, and they're trying to figure out they're trying to find out who shot that dart at the assassin. Like who, like Jango Fett was behind it, but
yeah,
that was one of the better moments. Like that was one of the good things about episode 2, that it felt like a mystery and kind of the buddy kind of thing. It's like one of the few glimpses you got at good character.
As to what a Jedi is normally doing, when he's not fighting, like directly fighting the Dark Lord of the Sith, what they're actually doing. They're actually like, going around solving mysteries and stuff.
Well, yeah, they do everything. So, so yeah, that and
it did a good job of kind of setting up like what the Jedi actually do.
Yeah, like the Jedi Council,
like we know they exist in episode 1, but they aren't ever like really set up for anything. All we know is that they just exist and they do things, I guess. But we learn in episode 2 that they're like this. They're like the super like intergalactic police, like Interpol basically, but in space.
Yeah, and so and
but
then,
episode 7, I feel, had some really cool plots. It felt like I don't know if this would be spoilers or not, but you might want to like write this time mark down.
Hang on.
It out potentially.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Okay, so it felt like the plot very heavily mirrored episode 4.
Yeah.
I don't know if would that be spoilers?
Not really.
We can upload a spoilers version of.
Or I could put warning, potential spoilers ahead. Pause the video now or skip ahead.
We'll upload 2. We can upload 2 copies of it.
Yeah, it takes up a lot of space.
That's true. I don't know. Well, anyways, I felt like that kind of bugged me. But what were some other things you liked about episode 7?
I think Kylo Ren is interesting. He's not like anyone else I've seen in the series.
Right. And we don't want to go into too much detail on him.
Yeah, see, I want to talk about him, but I can't.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil things. So, but there are some really interesting characters that were introduced. They've got some really cool motivations and whatnot. We should probably move on. We've been talking about Star Wars for.
Well, I'm trying to think if I can remember anything else. that I need to talk about.
Yeah.
But I think overall, it was decent for a Star Wars movie, I think. Because despite the...
I think your wording was decent.
Well, the thing is, it didn't feel like Star Wars as much as the other ones. Even though it probably should feel more like it than the prequels did, because the prequels were during like Republic and a different kind of settings. But I mean, this one, when you have a jump between like 10 years in time between making them, I mean, everything, you can't totally recreate the feel unless you use the same cameras, the same everything. But the cinematography, I will bash on forever. But I thought it was all right. So.
Well, there was like this shot at the end, and I'm not going to spoil the end, of course, but they like do this helicopter like rotation shot around a small platform. That bugged me. Like where they have a helicopter circling a platform, and they like have the camera zoomed in on the platform, like so we can have our two characters in focus, and it's like this aerial rotation shot where the background is like moving like at 1,000 miles an hour. That, I don't like that. I feel like that's something that fits in Metal Gear Solid, does not fit in Star Wars at all.
Yeah, there's certain things rules you shouldn't break.
But on the note of things I did like about the movie, practical effects galore. There were puppets for creatures instead of just CGI things, like BB-8 rolls off into the distance and a little alien thing pops out of the ground because it's Star Wars. That felt very Star Wars to me. And this little alien thing, it's a puppet though. It's not like some CGI thing. It's an actual like physical thing. It's actually there.
Well, the thing is though, with puppets, they look like puppets to me.
But they actually
remember that? Yeah, but it moves like a puppet. And then it feels like it's just a puppet.
But even then, it's only that thing was only in the shot for like 3 seconds. So to me,
because I remember that
I knew is that it looked like it was really there.
That pecking bird.
The pecking bird.
And then it was like it was in the shot, and then the speeder went by, and then it was like a pecking bird, and it was like that looks like a fucking puppet. The way it moved, I'm like,
I know there's been a lot of really cool like behind the scenes videos of these. What am I trying to say? The claymation stuff that they did. I'm not going to spoil where the claymation is, but there was some claymation in the movie as well, and it was kind of like an homage to the originals. I thought that was really cool. But yes, practical effects I feel were key to making this feel like a Star Wars movie.
So you didn't really feel any more Star Wars.
I feel like the practical effects in the movie just made it feel so much better, though, See,
I'm not one that cares about any of that, if it's real or not, as much. But I'm trying to think, there was a lot of CGI as well. Because some people were thinking like they could get away with all practical effects. I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Oh yeah, no way.
Like half the shit that is CGI, you don't know it is.
Yeah,
because
that's what
it's
good
done
CGI is.
Done so well, you don't fucking know.
Yeah,
but there's still
like when you look at a CGI scene, and you say, "Wow, that is really good CGI." That means it's bad CGI because you know it's CGI.
Well, it's not bad, but I've seen bad CGI. That would be like
that'd be like Episode 2 CGI.
I think even that for the time was fine.
Or Episode 4 Special Edition Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible. The Special Edition CGI is fucking terrible. And does not even, like, they redid it again, and it's still, like, if you're trying to put CGI in an old movie, unless you do it well, it's just not going to work. And it looked like shit. Like, Jabba looked like shit.
Maybe that was the art direction, but...
like, and then the whole Jabba the Hutt palace scene, they made the characters there were really shitty puppets, like really shitty puppets in there. But then they put shitty CGI, so it's
shittier
just
CGI.
I mean, they're equally shitty, but because one looked like you could, it just looked so terrible. It didn't even. Oh my god! Everything about that scene was just terrible. Like no matter what you throw in there, it was, the scene. Mm-hmm. And Jabba's hut where they're all singing. And
I'll be honest, I watched that movie once, and it was a very long time ago. I want to watch all those movies again sometime.
Because I just watched it again, and oh man, that whole scene, no matter what version of it is, it's just bad. And Ewoks are bad. I don't like Ewoks. Like, the Ewoks ruined that movie. Like, that... The movie was still, like, entertaining. Mm-hmm. But all of them are entertaining to an extent. But the Ewoks... I can't get over the Ewoks. Like, oh, God. That should not be able to defeat an Empire. Oh, my God. That's up there with fucking Finn and the lightsaber and the...
no spoilers. I mean,
well, you see it in the trailer.
It's in the trailers. But,
where Kylo Ren, like...
Yeah.
There's no way the dude... See, I want to talk about it, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. Well, moving on, we're going to talk about some Star Wars games. Now, I don't have much experience with Star Wars games outside of the Battlefront games. Trying to think of, I've played some other ones. I played Force Unleashed for a little bit, but it's not a great game.
No.
Did some really cool stuff with physics.
The first level was good.
What are some of your favorite Star Wars games?
Oh my god, I played almost all of them. And Star Wars is one of those franchises that has excellent games, and a lot of excellent games. Mm-hmm. Too bad that they don't make anything anymore, hardly, other than Battlefront. Oh, God. Battlefront's fine, but I want a game where I'm just a Jedi.
Battlefront has some really fun Jedi games.
Yeah, but that's not like a that's true, not on the that's not on even on the level of Jedi Knight, the Jedi Knight series. The Jedi Knight series, Jedi Outcast is it's Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. I think that is near number 1, up there with Knights of the Old Republic. Mm-hmm. Knights of the Old Republic is just unbelievable. It was like one of BioWare's first.
And I still need to finish that one.
Like the story's good. Has a huge. I think it's up. The plot twist is up there with, "No, I'm your father" kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't want to spoil that.
Oh yeah, I still need to finish that. But I just wanted to point out you should probably write down this timestamp so we can like put it in the video, like a link to like our post episode 7 discussions for people who don't want to listen to that.
Well, yeah, I do that anyway. I do that with all. Like, I'm starting to do that.
Okay.
With all our stuff.
Oh, cool. Very
I'm putting timestamps of when we talked about it.
Awesome.
So anyways, they can click.
Anyways,
in the description.
I feel like my favorite Star Wars game of all time, of the ones I've played, and I haven't played many. I think
because you're a fool.
I am horrible. Yes. So I think my favorite of all the ones I've played is probably Rogue Squadron 3, which I realize is the lowest rated Rogue Squadron game.
Rogue Squadron 2 is better.
For some very valid reasons, but the reason I like Rogue Squadron 3 the most is because it just had so much to do. You know, you have the Rogue Squadron 3 single-player campaign. You have all 3 classic Star Wars arcade games. Mm-hmm. You have the entirety of Rogue Squadron 2 just in there as a cooperative multiplayer campaign, and you have all the multiplayer modes, which kind of feel unique in and of themselves. You know, you have your standard deathmatch modes, but then you also have like a Walker deathmatch mode. You have speeder bike racing. You have Death Star trench run race mode. Mm-hmm. It's just so cool. There's so much stuff to do. It's amazing.
It's one of those hidden gems, I think, at this point, because it's a GameCube exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Now, one of the very valid reasons, I will say, that Rogue Squadron 3 has lower ratings than all the other games.
Those on-the-foot missions.
Those on-foot missions are not great. The speeder bike stuff is okay. It really just excels in the air vehicle combat. You know, the Walker stuff felt
and I really
weird,
loved
funky at best.
I really loved when they went to Geonosis.
In it was Rogue Squadron 2, right? Or
3.
Was that 3? Yeah, in 3.
And you got all those seismic charges.
Yes. You get the Jedi Starfighter and tons of seismic and tons of sonic bombs.
And the guy was flying the clone dropship.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like seeing the. I think
they worked a lot of the prequel stuff into this post episode.
Because this was 2003, and
when did Rogue Squadron 3 take place?
I think it was all throughout the original trilogy.
Well, Rogue Squadron 2 starts
because you had Hoth, the Battle of Hoth.
That was a bonus mission in Rogue Squadron 3 because the Battle of Hoth was the second mission in Rogue Squadron 2.
No, it was in Rogue Squadron 3.
Okay,
it was not a bonus.
I'm just gonna say, I just played Rogue Squadron 3 like literally 3 days ago.
That was like the central level.
No, Battle of Hoth is a bonus level where you play as Luke Skywalker on Hoth, and they have like all these cool little scripted events.
That was like one of the first levels, though, I thought.
No, you're thinking of the second level of Rogue Squadron 2.
Not.
It's the second level of the co-op campaign. I know this because I literally played it like 2 days ago. But or it's the third level.
It's the thing that's on the cover.
The first level.
He's on the cover.
Yeah, it's a bonus mission, but the first level is the first level in the co-op campaign, at least, which I assume is just straight up the Rogue Squadron 2 campaign, 100%. The first level is the Death Star at the end of episode 4.
Oh my god, that is the best level of all time.
Then the second level, the Death Star was also a bonus level in the first game on N64. But then the second level is this, you're escorting a rebel fleet through a nebula it takes place between episodes 4 and 5. The third level is the Battle of Hoth, and then the next level is just like sometime during. It's just whatever Wedge is doing during episode 5. I think that's the rest of the game. I don't know when Rogue Squadron 3 takes place, but
should be in the same.
But I do know for sure that. In fact, I'm gonna look it up because this is bugging me now.
Yeah, Rogue Squadron 2 I have up there with Outcast and KOTOR. Because that. Oh my god, the graphics were unbelievable. They still look good. Like those graphics, how they did that on the GameCube, I do not know. Do you know?
The graphics in that are friggin' amazing.
Factor 5 now defunct.
I'm looking at
unbelievable. They made the game in like less than a year. They made that game.
Okay, so the name of the level you're thinking of is called Battlefield Hoth. And it's a bonus mission in Rogue Squadron 3.
See, I remember. I don't remember that being a bonus.
In Rogue Squadron 2, however, it's a it is a what am I trying to say? It's a full-on mission, like main part of the story. Now, Rogue Squadron 2 also had some pretty cool bonus missions. I think like the first bonus mission you unlocked was like the scene from episode 4.
Yeah, you're on the Millennium Falcon and you got the turret.
Yeah,
and you don't want to get cocky.
Yeah. So that's really cool. I don't think I ever unlocked any of the other bonus missions in that.
That game's hard.
It is. Oh my god, dude! Like the targeting computer, targeting computer efficiency is the thing that always messes me up. And it looks like I was actually wrong. Okay, so Battlefield Hoth is.
I told you.
Battlefield Hoth is the main story mission, but there's also Escape from Hoth, which is a bonus mission.
See, I don't misremember anything.
It looks like
because I am superior to you.
Okay, I never finished I never finished Rogue Squadron 3, but it says here on the wiki I'm reading the last level is called Sarlacc Pit, and I assume it's one of those stupid on foot missions. That sounds horrible.
I think the Yoda level was horrible. I hated that level.
There's a Yoda level? I don't remember that.
On foot, yeah.
Oh, God.
You have your lightsaber. It was terrible.
I remember there was some on foot mission where it's like raining. You're on, I think it was Dantooine, I think? Or it was Baccarat.
Like, Yoda level was like, did you not finish the game?
I never finished the game. I have it.
And you have it like your highest rated? What
I need to. Well,
I'm gonna
multiplayer stuff, but
damn it, Jeff.
I need to play through 2 first. And
I
one.
mean, it doesn't matter.
I have one. One's also really good. They're all
good, but
great.
2 is the Empire Strikes Back of the trilogy.
Oh, yeah. I love the intro movie for 2 as well. Like the 2 and 3 had amazing intro movies. Like 2 had like all the stormtroopers doing like a chorus dance on the Death Star surface, and then 3 has the disco dance scene.
Yeah, that first level, the Death Star run, nothing has come close to that.
Oh yeah.
Any recreation of that from any other Star Wars game absolutely fails in comparison to this.
Oh yeah.
This is as faithful as it's gotten.
X-Wing fails in that.
Yeah, X-Wing, no. Because this, I sweat every time I get near the end. It gets really scary.
I will argue, I feel like as far as just like overall cinematics go, not talking about gameplay at all, but as far as the overall atmosphere and cinematics go, Star Wars Trilogy Arcade probably does a better job at the Death Star run. Just because of the sound design, the visual effects, everything. Star Wars Trilogy Arcade is probably actually my highest rated Star Wars game. But
I don't know, because I'd have to play it again, because 2 did it so well. Mm-hmm. And it felt like the movie. It felt like the movie. I felt like I was.
Star Wars Arcade actually feels exactly like the movie.
Oh, you know another one? Pod Racer.
Pod Racer is pretty good too. Never really got too into that one, so I didn't really have too many chances to play it either. But
it was on the PC, Nintendo 64, and the Dreamcast.
You're not talking about the arcade game.
No, well, the arcade game's good too, because it's a fucking pod racer. Like it's actual controls of a pod racer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
It's up there. The pod racing game is up there with F-Zero. In fact, well, I think F-Zero is a better game, but if they did a new pod racer game that did it justice, I think it would be even better. Because I just like the design of the pod racers. It's just, I think it's really unique, cool. Original. It's like a chariot kind of design, like Roman times kind of chariot kind of. And it's just so cool. The sound effects that those things make. Like whoever was, like Star Wars has always had fantastic sound designers, the best, period. And whoever made the sound effects for those pod racers, just like each and every one of them had a different sound to them. It was like, Sebulba's was like, it's like I can't do it justice, but
that's some really awesome.
The highlight of the film, and they had made a whole game about it. And there's also Racer Revenge on PS2. I haven't played that one as much. Doesn't seem like it. It's pretty good, I think, but I want a new one that does it justice. But it won't happen because doesn't EA have the rights to everything now?
I think EA is the. Well, it's weird because I thought that they were the exclusive Star Wars game developer, but it turns out
they shouldn't be. That's stupid.
There have been some other Star Wars games from other developers recently. I think they were mostly like mobile things.
Like, why would you give any one company all the power like that?
Oh, look, they just lost the Madden thing. Maybe they just you did it out of pity.
See, it's Madden, but it's Madden now. It's what Star Wars has become. It's going to become Madden with the games.
I liked Battlefront.
Well, Battlefront.
I wouldn't recommend paying.
It's not the greatest.
It's not the greatest by any means. It's still a lot of fun to play, though.
I'd rather have a Jedi game with lightsabers and not some crappy mobile games that they like. It's all mobile games now. Battlefront. That's all it is. It's what it's become, and it's depressing because they used to have.
I want to say. Visceral Studios, is that what it is? Whoever made Dead Space, they're working on some Star Wars thing.
Really? Because didn't 1313 get scrapped?
1313 got scrapped. That was not something that EA was working on, and I'll be honest, it kind of as beautiful as it looked, it did kind of look like a completely generic third-person shooter. So let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, like if you're gonna do Star Wars game, you gotta have lightsabers.
Oh,
it's not Force Unleashed. Not
I feel like you
crappily
don't
done.
necessarily need lightsabers because there's also Republic Commando, which I don't know if there's any lightsabers
Yeah, but
combat in there, but that's also considered one of the best Star Wars games.
I don't know if I could go back to it now, but that was like had one of the best squad AI.
So apparently Visceral
then.
is working on a Star Wars game. They've said it's very similar to Uncharted and the 1313 game. So I don't know. Apparently it's also going to be open world.
Like, is it just going to be with guns or?
That's all they said.
I don't know.
So,
Not.
There's
too
also
excited.
it's going to be an action. It's going to be an action RPG.
See, and then BioWare fucked up with the MMO, so that series is not gonna ever have single player ever again.
I think they said that it is just straight up not canon.
And then that's not even canon now because Disney, which makes no sense because
Now I
it's
know
not
there
like
was that one developer. They were trying to pitch the Darth Maul game to EA. I don't know if they.
See, I'll take the Darth Maul game at this point because I don't give a. Actually, I think the footage of that looked pretty good. I think, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they were like cutting people in half and stuff.
See, like
Rising.
But the thing is, I don't think anything's come close to Jedi Knight with the. I don't think you've seen the actual single player lightsaber
I've seen
physics.
some of it. I've seen some of it.
Like the single player, because the single player is different from the multiplayer physics.
I've seen some of the single player stuff in that. It's very impressive.
More realistic, because the multiplayer, is bad compared to the single player. Because I had only played the multiplayer stuff, and I'm like, and then I fought my first Jedi or Dark Jedi in that game, because the game had built up, because it was mostly just a first-person shooter up till then, and then you get your lightsaber, and then you face this your first duel. And it was like the most unbelievable lightsaber duel I've ever experienced.
I have that game and I need to play it sometime.
Outcast?
'Cause I don't have it on Steam. I have it on disc.
Yeah, because I think Half Price Books had a bunch of those. I bought another copy because I liked the game so much. I got like 3 copies of it. I mean, some aspects of the game do not hold up. The AI is pretty stupid. But I think that not really reminds me, but another game, the Clone Wars game from 2002.
I don't think I've ever seen any game
that runs on the Battlefront engine. It's basically, it's more arcadey. It's more like, that reminds me of another game that Factor 5 made after Rogue Squadron. The Battle for Naboo. On N64 and PC.
Yes.
That game was also good. It was basically just Rogue Squadron, but it was just Battle on Naboo. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was good. It
had an amazing draw distance too. I'm looking at some gameplay of the Episode 2 game or the Clone Wars game. This is some impressive looking stuff for the original Xbox. Then again, so was Battlefront. Battlefront was a really impressive looking game, especially for that era on Xbox.
Well, nothing beats Rogue Squadron.
Oh yeah, Rogue Squadron is beautiful. Yeah,
that's on a whole nother level.
Yeah, well, the lighting in Battlefront on Xbox is absolutely amazing.
The thing is, at that time, I'm like, Battlefront looks like crap compared to Rogue Squadron. I'm like, this game looks like shit.
I will say it has been a very long time since I've played it, but like, I'm not talking about soldier models. I'm talking about like the actual aircraft.
Because back then,
those looked amazing.
Yeah. Back then, I only had the GameCube, so I was stuck with Rogue Squadron.
Oh yeah,
which isn't a problem. But I was like, everyone was playing Battlefront. I'm like, oh, God damn it, I want this game because it's like there's more like because you're facing off against other people and online and stuff. And I'm like, damn it, and just. Oh
yeah, I'm looking at some on foot gameplay now of the Clone Wars game. This is a major step downwards in quality. Like he's got this weird like little prancing running animation. This
I
is
think
not great.
no, that part of the game is actually fun though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The
I can see it.
lightsaber parts, like back then in 2002, like there wasn't really anything like that as much. Well, other than Jedi Knight, but I mean, like on the battlefield like that with all those, I think that there wasn't really many lightsaber parts in that game, other than like the multiplayer arena mode, which was really fun. You can be Yoda, I think.
I think the episode 3 game had like a straight up like
the
fighting game mode.
episode 3, the game, which was actually after the movie. That game was pretty good. Now, episode 1, the game was a piece of shit. Yeah, that reminds me of the shitty Star Wars games. Oh god, that was shit.
Yoda stories.
I think that was shit too. I think I found a sealed copy of that, and I bought it, and I think I sold it.
You bought a sealed copy of Yoda stories?
It was sealed, and it was a old PC game. It was a big box. Why wouldn't I?
It's weird because they were trying to like market that as like a replacement for like Solitaire.
I didn't even play it, so I don't know.
It's horrible.
Yeah, that game's a shit sandwich. Oh god, you know what else is a shit sandwich?
Hmm.
The Flight of the Falcon on
Flight
Game Boy
the-
Advance.
Not.
Is that shitty 3D attempt?
I'm gonna look it up.
Oh god, it was my first Game Boy Advance game. I was so disappointed because the game had 3D graphics, and I'm like, oh my god, 3D graphics on a Game
Right.
Boy.
Because this game has a 4 out of 10 on IGN.
Oh, God.
Let's take a look here. Alright. So I am not impressed so far. I'm looking at the opening title scroll and I cannot even read any of the text.
Yeah, you couldn't even see the reticle you were shooting. You couldn't even see what was going on. It was terrible.
Oh god, yeah, this is not great. This is not even. Oh god. Yeah, I was not I was expecting bad, but not this bad. This is
This is the
This-
worst
this is
Star Wars game
embarrassing.
I've ever played. Hands down.
Yeah, I feel like the Imperial March is not. This like incredibly compressed version of the Imperial March is not the best thing to be playing. Now, I will say, I think you had it worse than me because my first Game Boy Advance game was Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase. It was one of my
that
first.
is something Jeff would play and get.
But
You know what? There's a forgotten Star Wars game that nobody ever played. I don't remember what it was called. It was called it was for the Game Boy Advance. It's like called Star Wars. I think it was called like Star Wars Trilogy.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, the cover of it was like the original, like you know how Luke is like holding the lightsaber up and Leia's like by his side with the gun and stuff. It was like the silver, like all metallic and silver and like black. I forgot what it was called. Yes, it was called Star Wars Trilogy: Apprentice of the Force. Is nobody played it ever, and somehow I picked it out of nowhere. It was just kind of one of these.
Now I'm looking at gameplay of this, and I still cannot read any of the. Well, I can read the title scroll a little better, I guess.
It was an okay game. It had its moments.
The animation, I'm looking at some gameplay. The animation is not bad. It's a little weird looking. Everything's like the characters have like this weird like black outline, which is very
I
strange.
think it was like 3D. They used 3D images for the character models.
Oh right, yeah. I can see that.
It like took place through the 3 movies.
So it's kind of like all 3 Super Star Wars games, but like in one package, sort of.
I mean, it's a completely different game.
Oh well, yeah.
And they had like duels. It was all right. It's a forgotten game. Another game, Force Commander. The RTS.
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
I remember liking that game, but some people thought it was terrible. It got really bad reviews.
Yeah, they did some Twisted Metal style thing that also doesn't look that great.
Oh yeah, that's Demolition.
Yeah, Demolition.
There's so many Star Wars games. I can't even. Well, there's like Star Wars Rebellion.
There's the fighting game.
Oh yeah, then there's that other RTS.
Horrible fighting game.
Then there's that Galactic Battlegrounds game. That 2D RTS from 2001.
Oh gosh, I don't know what that one is. I don't know if I want to. A 2D RTS is
no.
not
I'm looking. It got good reviews. It looks like.
Now I want to talk a little bit about Star Wars Trilogy Arcade because that's something I want to see make a comeback.
Yeah, they need.
That game is amazing.
Like. Go through all of the movies.
Yeah, so like with Star Wars Trilogy Arcade was like this rail shooter arcade game, and you had like your joystick, and you had an action button and a joystick. So you shoot with the joystick, and you hit the action button whenever they light up to do a special action. So like you have like the you start off with the Yavin 4, and it's like the Death Star battle. And it's all on rails, and you do the first part in space, and you fly across the Death Star surface. You fight Darth Vader in his TIE advance or whatever. Then you do the trench run, and Darth Vader's like flying at you at the very end. It like has the radar like targeting computer screen at the top of the screen. It's making the authentic sound effects and everything. And like Darth Vader's flying at you. He says, "I have you now." And then, like at the last second, the Millennium Falcon flies in and like blows him out of the way, and it's really cool. And then you do the Hoth battle, which starts off, like flying around in your snowspeeder shooting ATSTs, and then you do an on-foot segment in Echo Base, and you fight some Wampas and other cool stuff. And then I think after you finish 2 levels, you do a lightsaber duel against Boba Fett on Tatooine.
Boba Fett, where?
So you do a lightsaber battle against him, where you deflect his blaster bullets or blaster beams, lasers, whatever.
Yeah, that was like inverted.
Yeah,
and it like threw me off every time. I could never beat it, and like the joystick was broken on half those.
Oh yeah. So that was the first bonus level. Like you do that after the
fucking Darth Vader fight,
and then after that you'd play through the 3rd level, and if you're playing them in order like you should, then the 3rd level is Endor, Episode 6, Endor. So you're in the forest in Endor, you're on your speeder bike, and you like kind of steer around. You're trying to navigate through these trees and also shoot stormtroopers, and then you do an on-foot segment where you're going through the forest fighting stormtroopers again, and there are like these secret parts where you can like press your action button to call in the Ewoks to like just drop a rock on their head or something. It's great. Then after that you fight an ATST on foot and you will die because it's just like some scripted fuck you point.
Yeah, because they want your money.
Yeah. So then after that you do the second bonus level, and that's the lightsaber duel against Darth Vader, which they show in the demo mode.
Yeah, and I'm like, I want to play that.
That's the most amazing part of the game. And there's actually a bonus. There's a bonus part or a bonus thing in that part of the game where after you beat Darth Vader, the Emperor like says his line or whatever, and then you can you press the action button to deactivate your lightsaber while pointing it at Darth Vader, and the Emperor says, "So be it," and you get like a 1,000 point bonus for it. For being accurate.
No, you will die.
But after you've finished that, then you get to go on to the final challenge, which is the space battle of Endor. It's like Battle of Endor Part 2. And you start off like flying around outside, like in the space around the Death Star 2. And then you're on the surface of the Death Star 2. There's like a couple of scripted fuck you game over points in that space battle.
Those are always mandatory.
Yeah. Especially in the final level. You're not going to give up here, right? You can't select this level from the main menu. But you go into the surface of the Death Star 2, then you fly down the corridor, like the very tight corridor, following the Millennium Falcon in your X-Wing, and then you destroy the reactor. You get out of there, and it plays the final cutscene. It plays the Rebel anthem or whatever it is, as it like shows your results for each level. It is the most amazing thing.
Oh yeah.
I love that game so much. I need to play it again.
You need to play other ones first.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, X-Wing and TIE Fighter were also...
Never played X-Wing or TIE Fighter. I'll be honest. That's my confession of the day. I've played... Well, that's not true.
Can
I played
deck
some X-Wing. I've never played... I have played X-Wing some. I never really understood how to play it, though.
It's a simulator.
Yeah. Like, I didn't have access to a joystick at the time.
Yeah, you have to play on joystick. And then there's those Lego Star Wars games.
Lego Star Wars, I feel, is okay.
They were fun at the time when they first came out, but then it's just...
Now, the thing is, a lot of it's in, like the cinematics. They just don't really have too much focus on gameplay, which is...
I couldn't, I liked the first game a lot.
I think it's clever to see how they incorporate the Lego stuff into their environments. That's part of the fun in playing those, for me at least.
And then 2, I just never beat. I couldn't get through it. And that was 8 years ago, so I lost interest quick in those games. And then 3, I'm not even gonna look at it. I don't care.
That's the Clone Wars one, right?
Yeah, I lost interest because I might have partially been because the original trilogy just didn't have as many good for video game moments.
Yeah,
because not as much happened.
I think that's something interesting they do with a lot of those. They managed to make video game. They managed to take these movies that don't really have any good video game moments, and they make video games out of them somehow.
Yeah, but a lot of the times it feels like it doesn't work.
I feel like well, I haven't played all of them. I've only played a couple of them. I feel like it works for Star Wars, and I feel like it works most of the time for Star Wars, and I feel like for the Lord of the Rings one, it definitely works almost all the time.
The problem with the Lord of the Rings one is I feel they rushed it.
It didn't really feel rushed because there's a lot.
Because the cutscenes were lazy. It was all dialogue. They had dialogue.
They did have dialogue. That's where they started using dialogue. Though.
It wasn't even funny. Some of the humor. It's because they're making 10 games. They're making 10 games at once.
Yeah, it's like the standard substandard Lego humor, where Legolas has his instruction guide because he's Legolas. But
it was okay. I played it through it. It was actually I don't know if I finished it because I got near the end and I was just eh.
Yeah.
The graphics were nice. I used that game as reference for my capstone.
Oh yeah. That game had some amazing detail.
The environments, but the thing is, some people complain it doesn't look like Legos. Yeah. But it's well, yeah, I guess. The thing is, it's Lord of the Rings, so Legos look weird in there.
I did like how so they did manage to work Legos into their environment. So with some of the statues, for example, they were minifigures.
Yeah.
But they were still made out of concrete. They're giant concrete minifigure statues of those original statues.
Man, I'm looking at this list. Oh wait, never mind.
Okay. Well, moving
Attack
on.
Squadrons, they fucking canceled all these games that were coming out because Disney.
Mm. So moving on, I recently...
No, hang on.
Huh?
Let me...
Got a big scoop?
I'm trying to remember because there's just so many of these damn games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Galaxies. That game died. It was also, what? Yeah, you had the Super Star Wars.
Which is actually now available on PlayStation 4, I think.
Yeah, you can check those out. Those are hard.
We need to move on because we've been talking about Star Wars for a very long time.
I feel like this should be exclusive.
Well, I've got
because we're at past the hour mark.
There's some other stuff I want to talk about. I think we should probably start wrapping it up, but there's some other stuff.
Because we're gonna have to cut shit out because
I wanted to definitely want to talk about this next topic though, and then I think we can just call it quits for this episode. But I recently participated in Ludem Dare 34. I think it's pronounced Ludem Dare. It might be Ludem Dare. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, but recently participated in that. It's a game jam. It takes place over the course of 72 hours, or if you're doing the competition, it takes place over the course of 48 hours. But we were given a theme, and the theme was voted on by the community. So it turned out this year there was a vote, or there was a tie, rather, between the top two themes, and those were growth and two buttons. So me and a friend, we did our game based on the theme of growth. You play as a tiny little monster, and you eat things, and you get huge, and that's the premise.
You get big.
You become large. So it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun making it. So anyways, I think it'd be cool to like do a kind of like post-mortem of that on the channel or something. That could be a lot of fun.
You know, that reminds me. I just heard there's a train jam.
Oh yeah, the train. Are they doing that again?
GDC.
Are they doing that again here? Cool.
From Chicago to San Fran.
I totally would. I totally would.
I totally would if we had the money and time.
Money, yeah. One of these years, I will go to GDC, and it's going to be awesome.
Well, I just hope, like, because that would take up an entire week almost, right?
Oh yeah. It's like all spring break.
If you had a job that wasn't flexible with that, then it would be. There's no way.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know how some people have the time to go there. I just don't know. Well, I guess GDC is only like 2 or 3 days, so.
It depends on what pass you get. But yeah, I think it'd be fun to kind of like do a post-mortem thing for that. That could be cool. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really kind of my first time working with a lot of stuff in Unity, and I learned a lot of cool stuff, and we ended up having a really nice looking game in the end.
Yeah.
So I thought it was Kawaii-Ju. It's Kawaii-Ju. There'll be a link to it in the description for the video. How about that?
You'll have to remind me.
Yeah.
I'll forget.
Otherwise, I'll go in and add it post fact. But it's a fun little game. Unfortunately, didn't
ambitious though.
Yeah, it was very ambitious. Didn't get some of the features in there. What were your thoughts on Kawaii-Ju?
I don't have because it was so buggy. Mm-hmm. Because it was ambitious.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't really get a grasp, but I think the concept was there. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a solid concept, and the graphics were vibrant.
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, if it fixed the bugs.
So I've been working on it. So
yeah, get those bugs.
They do allow you to upload patches after the game jam ends, but you have to keep your original entry up for voting purposes.
Just put this patch that fixes the entire game in, or add an entire new levels.
Yeah,
that weren't there.
So
and the other group, some of our people we know. They did a game.
Yeah, they did a game. It's called what is it? Beyond the Void? No, that's a song.
Call of Void?
Call of the Void. It's a pretty cool game. It's you like they chose to do the 2-button theme, so you can one of your buttons is use power up, your other button is kind of like your action button. So like you come out of a black hole and you orbit these planets, and then you hold down your action button to leave the orbit of the planet. And it's a fun little game, nice little puzzle game, physics puzzle game.
I played it for almost 2 hours.
I played a lot. I played it for a while.
That's that group right there.
We need to have a link to that in the description.
That group is going places.
Yeah.
And we've worked with some of those people on game jams before.
Oh yeah, they've got the skills.
They've got all the skills. There's some brilliant minds there. That
absolutely.
Because we made some of our best, I think, our 2 best games. Mm-hmm. Especially Coop Snake 89.
Yes, Snake 89 is a great.
Oh, that is a classic. Game.
So
that was fun.
Moving on to some other news, I think we can get the rest of this stuff in here real quick. Dreamcast 2, supposedly being teased by Sega. Project, was it Coda? You sent me a link to it, and I forgot what it was. It was like c.projectdream.com or something. It was a countdown timer. Apparently, Dreamcast
ProjectDream.com.
Yeah. I guess apparently, Dreamcast 2 is
or .co.
or some kind of Dreamcast successor. Apparently, I think I read somewhere it's going to be like a PC slash it's like going to be like a gaming PC slash game console hybrid thing. Sounds like it could be interesting.
Yeah, this is not gonna. I
I'm
don't.
guessing it'll be like a Steam machine, but
there's no way this is gonna be a whole new console.
Mm.
Like Sega.
I doubt they even got. They don't have
It's
the
not-
money to do that.
That's not. That's stupid.
There's no way they have the money to do that.
Like they're gonna compete against what, like your friends now that you've allied with Nintendo. Like
No way.
gonna,
They definitely do not have the
like.
actual like.
Then I
fun-
can't have my Sonic and Mario shit ever again. Are you gonna take him out of my Smash Brothers?
There's no way that. There's just no way that it's
Like,
a new.
see,
console.
everyone wants
Sega-
Dreamcast too, and I'm
Sega
like, why?
is so low on money. Like they had to.
They don't
had
even do
to-
anything anymore.
They had to discontinue everything, and I mean everything except for Sonic, Total War, Alien, and Football Manager. Like that is literally they discontinued everything else. They do not make anything.
Total War is still good, but they only publish it. So
Yeah,
and
well,
Sonic's
they
a
only,
shit sandwich again. So
yeah, they need to.
they had it right with Sonic Fair with
Sonic
for a
Generations.
while. Just Sonic Generations,
Mhm.
and then they just, I guess Lost World was okay, but then Sonic Boom, the game was just a glitch, like a Sonic 06 successor of shitness. Like, and they're making another Sonic Boom. Like, what do we like? This the next one better be something that's different.
It's like they look at the train wreck. They can't look away, and they're like, you know what? That's what I want to be when I grow up.
Because they had it right Generations, but then they're like, we're going to go in a new
Their
direction.
Facebook page is like posting all these silly meme things.
The Facebook page is
oh yeah,
absolutely
Sonic 06
brilliant.
is so horrible.
Brilliant.
I think they're trying to use that Sonic. They think they can like make Sonic Boom and like make this horrible buggy game and then use it as marketing. Like, hey guys, look at this horrible game. It's like Sonic 06. You should go buy it so you can do your Let's Plays.
Sonic. They embraced the Sonic.
They embrace
fan art.
Sonic. They
And
embrace.
they will, like, this guy was like, hey, say Sonic, all I want for Christmas is Sonic 06. And they're like, are you sure about that?
No, it's a shitty game, and it's like they're trying to embrace that, and I don't know. It's all
The
kind
Facebook page is brilliant.
Facebook page is okay. I don't know. It's
I think it's fantastic. Like, it's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
gotta embrace those memes, Dan.
And
Embrace.
they reply to comments, and it's like the most beautiful thing.
So they do reply to comments. They intentionally hide things in the backgrounds of their pictures too, which is pretty funny. But and then,
Oh God! And then they like, this guy posted, "But who will protect me from Sonic?" And then they posted that me costume of Knuckles.
oh God,
And Knuckles the Echidna. It's a fucking terrifying Knuckles.
it's horrifying.
Knuckles.
Knackles, the Echinonda.
Oh my God.
So speaking of Smash, there was some DLC for that. We played some of it. The new Cloud DLC.
I just read something else. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
Someone's like, will this run on like Windows, was it? Why is he using Windows 98 to like, there's this picture of Eggman using Windows 98. He's got a browser open.
Right.
And they're like, still better than Windows 8. Oh man. Where's Windows 9?
Yeah, Windows 9 is like the.
Where's that?
Oh no, that was the thing already. Remember, it was Windows Mojave.
I don't.
It was
remember
it was their marketing thing when they were showing everyone this great new Windows operating system shortly after Vista came out. They were like, so we realized that we messed up with Vista. We know that Vista's not that great, so we've got the successor to Vista, Windows Mojave. And they got these people into a room, hid cameras in there, and they're like, so what do you think about Windows Mojave so far? I think it's okay. Yeah, it's all right. Well, you're actually using Vista.
Yep.
So, anyways, moving on. Smash DLC We have Cloud Strife now. I think he's pretty fun. He's got a lot of fun,
I think he's fantastic.
His limit break. I beat classic mode on the 3DS version in Intensity 9.0 for the first time ever with Cloud, and I was so proud of myself. It didn't unlock the goddamn challenge. I was so upset about that.
A challenge?
There's a challenge that says complete classic mode on difficulty on intensity level 9.0 or higher, and I did on intensity level 9.0.
Did you die?
I did not die. I died. I lost a life, but I never had to use a continue.
Well, it's Cloud, so it's cheating.
Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he's got that whole...
It must be a bug.
He's got like the limit break thing, which is a lot of fun. It's a really cool dynamic. And then we had a couple of new characters announced. Corrin.
The 50th Fire Emblem character,
yes,
and Bayonetta.
Corrin is the player character, the customizable player avatar character in Fire Emblem Fates. And he's got some really scary-looking stuff. He's got the longest-reaching smash attack in the game, and a lot of other scary stuff. And then, yes, Bayonetta is straight-up Bayonetta with all of her combos and everything. It's going to be scary playing against Bayonetta players. Like, that's going to be like launch, like, Diddy Kong.
The combos,
levels.
Dear God.
That's going to be like launch Diddy Kong levels of scary.
Oh, man. Well, it depends. We'll see.
Like, the fact they managed to implement Witch Time is freaking beautiful.
That sounds like it get annoying as a player that's fighting against that, and they get to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that.
You got to be careful. It's just like trying to not get countered.
Yeah.
But I feel like Bayonetta is a really cool looking addition. She also has her own stage as well. There's the the fallen clock tower thing from the opening of the first Bayonetta, and that is amazing. I really want to go back and play that game.
There's some people that this is the last. That is the last. These are the last DLC characters here. And some people,
I feel like I was upset that Corrin doesn't get his/her own stage. And
yeah, but it's Fire Emblem.
You know what?
Again,
The thing is, here's the thing. They had that opportunity, Dan. They had that opportunity to finally bring the Snoop Dogg stage to Smash Brothers, and they did not take that opportunity, and it just pisses me off.
Unbelievable.
Need that Snoop Dogg stage, Nintendo. Sakurai, if you're listening, we need the Snoop Dogg stage.
But that's it. That's all the DLC they're going to have.
We need that in there, but nope.
And Bayonetta is the one who won the Smash ballot.
Yes.
So, the worldwide of realizable characters.
I believe is what they said, yeah. So
no
I'm really excited
Master Chief or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play as Bayonetta. It's going to be a lot of fun.
But some people are really angry because Wolf isn't in it.
Wolf is fun.
And I'm confused because Wolf is a clone. I know. He's not totally a clone, but he's a clone.
He has similar looking moves.
Clone.
They are very different functionally.
Yeah, but it's still it's the same side dash. It's a side dash.
It's completely
down
different.
Deflector.
Because it has that upward slant and is only effective at the very tip.
It's the same to an extent. Mostly the same. It's not like it's Bayonetta, which is completely different. Completely. Yeah. Not even
like a completely new moveset.
I still consider Ganondorf and Falcon. I mean, they're a lot different now. Captain Falcon and Ganondorf, but it's still kind of a clone, half clone. But it's like, in Wolf, it's not like, why would you rather have Wolf over
I'll take
a new third-party character?
I'll take Bayonetta over Wolf any day of the week, but...
Like, I don't even play... I like Star Fox, and I've never played Bayonetta. I'd rather have Bayonetta than Wolf. And I love Star Fox. But if Wolf, it's just like... It's not like... I just don't care. Like, I don't get... It's like I've already played him before in Brawl. And it's... Well, I guess... That isn't really... Isn't a good point because, I mean, I wanted Snake back.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's Snake, though. It's a third-party character here. And seeing all these third-party characters fight together, Cloud, Mario, Link, Zelda,
Ryu.
like this is stuff that is in dreams.
Like Cloud was the character that we joked about like all the time. Like, yeah, this game sucks. They don't have Cloud in it. And then, well, they heard us and they added Cloud.
Pac-Man, Mega Man,
yeah,
Sonic. Sonic, I lost my shit.
Yeah, same.
Like Mario and Sonic, the biggest rivals of the '90s.
Mm-hmm.
Finally in a game together, fighting.
Yes.
It does not get better than that. Like,
well, I don't know.
Me.
There's only one way that can get better for me, and that would be Sonic and Mario in a game together fighting over the Olympic gold medal.
Well, I think they've got about 6 of those games now. Some of those are okay, but that's not... I want a legit Sonic and Mario game.
The Winter Olympics one had a story mode.
Like, those Olympic games are fine.
Had a Sonic story where they're just trying to find the fucking Chaos Emeralds.
But when you think about it, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Sonic...
The Chaos Emeralds are in Russia. Putin stole them. So you could use them to build the Olympic stadiums.
Well, weren't they missing a ring anyway? They were missing a ring.
It was the Chaos Emeralds.
Rings went out. The rings went out.
Yeah, Eggman stole the Chaos Emerald. I was powering it.
Oh, my God. But yeah,
there you go.
Like, I'm all for the third-party character.
Third-party character.
Some people think that only should be Nintendo.
I would have liked to have seen more more like new Nintendo characters, but I feel like they're waiting for Smash 5 to do that.
I don't even want to think about it. This game's so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Because are they going to be able to get all those characters back again?
Almost certainly not.
The third-party characters? Like, I want to enjoy this game while it lasts.
What were some of the other fighters from Brawl that didn't make it back for 4? We had
Ice Climbers.
We had Wolf.
Snake.
Snake. Who else?
Bitchfucker.
Pokemon Trainer, kind of.
Yeah, Pokemon. Ivysaur and Squirtle.
He kind of came back as Charizard.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not the same character.
It's basically...
Which I felt like I kind of cheated.
It's that part of Pokemon Trainer just expanded more and with more focus put into it. Let's see, who else didn't make it back? I'm trying to remember all the Brawl characters. I think most of them did make it back, actually.
Yeah, almost all of them. But I mean, you can bring Nintendo characters back because they own the rights to all of those. Can you bring... I'm pretty sure they can bring Sonic back at any time. As long as they don't make a Dreamcast 2.
And even then, Sega might be willing to work with Nintendo.
I mean, they got Cloud somehow. Cloud's not really... He's considered almost a Sony character, but he didn't even make it in Battle Royale. Whatever the fuck that was called.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Like, that was stunning. And Bayonetta got in.
Mm-hmm.
I think they could get Pac-Man back.
Mm-hmm.
Mega Man, probably. It's just Cloud. I don't know if they can get Cloud back again.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, we'll have to wait and see when...
because they didn't get Snake back, because Konami's a bitch.
When Wii U 2 comes back... Actually, they never asked for Snake.
Oh, they didn't?
Yeah.
Well,
that was
fuck
in an interview with...
God damn it, Sakurai.
Kojima. Someone asked him if Snake was going to be in Smash. He said, I don't know. I want Snake. I'd really, really like Snake to be in Smash 4. So
when was that?
It was when it was like before Ground Zeroes came out. They were asking. It was like an interview about Metal Gear Solid 5, and they
might have asked after.
They asked him, "Is Snake going to be in the next Smash Brothers?" And Kojima's response was, "Well, I really want him to be in the game, but Sakurai hasn't asked me yet. So if they're interested, they can ask me."
Damn it. They might have asked after, though.
No, there's never any public record of it. Anyways, moving on to our final topic. On the topic of Kojima, he has finally been freed.
Our mandatory Kojima talk.
Yes, he has been freed from Konami officially. His very long extended vacation is over.
Would you say we're obsessed with Kojima?
Possibly.
Because he's made an appearance in
I might even be Kojima and not even know it. But
so I've been working with Kojima?
I'm Kojima. What if you're Kojima? What if we're all Kojimas? But
oh God.
Kojima Productions is his new indie studio. They let him keep the name. How sweet.
Indie?
His new independently owned studio. His first game is going to be a PlayStation 4 exclusive. It will also come out on PC eventually. So
yeah.
No other news.
Sorry, Xbox guys and Nintendo, but Nintendo will never get anything until they make a console that rivals in power.
Mm-hmm. So, anyways, it's nice to see that Kojima is able to do stuff again. I'm happy about that.
Just disappointed Metal Gear is basically dead now.
Well, they're going to continue to make Metal Gear games, but they're all probably going to suck. And
yeah, if you don't have the guy who started it behind it,
well, that's not necessarily true because there's been good Mario games that.
Well, I mean, I feel like in terms of story, I don't know because that story is so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot more continuity there than there is
because
Mario.
Kojima's got it all on his mind.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's like they had it written down somewhere, but yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what Kojima Productions ends up doing though with PlayStation.
Because once again, I think they'd fuck up the cinematography
well,
of Metal Gear.
They did in 5, in my opinion. I did not care.
I thought it was the same kind of cinematography.
It was all long shots, like one single long shots. It was not great. I did not care much for it. All the other games,
parts of it.
All the other games did a lot more interesting things. Like they had those split frame segments, like slow motion usage. You know, really cool like camera barrel rolls and all this really cool like action movie cinematography.
Well, I blame Konami.
5 is designed. No, this is actually Kojima said it was his doing, and it was like he said he wanted it to be like a TV show. So like he did this weird like experimental like single shot thing. Where the whole game is like one shot.
What?
So like you start a cutscene.
Yeah.
And then it's like all one shot. Like there's.
I don't know. I remember parts of it where it felt very Metal Gear.
2 or 3 cuts. Yeah, some parts of it do feel very Metal Gear, but the majority of it doesn't. And I guess there is kind of a reason for that in the story. I'm not going to spoil.
Well, anyway.
But yeah. Anyways,
that's our mandatory Kojima talk segment,
and that's our episode. I think that's the end of our episode.
This is the longest episode ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because Star Wars.
Yeah, because Star Wars.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Thanks, Disney, for your Star Wars. Anyways, that's our episode. Thanks for listening, guys, and...
Oh, yeah, they fucking...
We'll talk to you next time.
Oh, man. RIP Extended Universe. Yeah, see ya.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to try to get this review out by... Oh, yeah, have a... Happy holidays.
Oh, yes. Happy holidays. We're going to be doing our next episode, I think. We're going to be doing a video for our Game of the Year picks before the year ends, hopefully.
I hope.
Yeah.
That's a week away.
So,
yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled for our Game of the Year video. We'll be choosing our nominations for Game of the Year and maybe possibly a couple other categories. I don't know. Anyways, that's our episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. See ya.
See ya.